Hi friends, this is Madhukar. Today we shall derive the expression for binomial distributions, mean, variance and standard deviation. Binomial distribution is one of the most simplest and elegant discrete distributions that is exclusively finding applications in many domains, especially in communication engineering and in advanced signal processing, especially in image processing and wireless communications. It does find applications a lot. It is practically realizable, it is practically implementable, and it is easily mathematically tractable, due to which it enjoys immense popularity. And binomial distribution is one of the most basic distributions for other advanced distributions such as multinomial distribution, Pascal distribution, and others. Right, and it has got relationship with many other probability distributions. So that's why it forms one of the most basic distributions that ought to be studied for understanding the other advanced distributions that are used in the literature, that are available in the literature and that are used in practice. So binomial distribution, as the name itself suggests, it is based upon the binomial theorem, which we would have studied in our 10th standard or in our 11th standard, especially 10th standard or in our first POC or 11th standard, we would have studied this. So since it is making usage of the binomial theorem, that's why this distribution is called binomial distribution, right? Needless to say, it is one of the most important probability discrete distributions, discrete probability distributions. It also makes usage of factorials a lot. That's why we would briefly review one important factorial formula that is important in the derivation of the mean, variance and standard deviation. I would like to use this formula, especially factorial x, where factorial of a number exists only for positive integers. Factorial does not exist for negative integers, nor does it exist for fractional numbers or decimal numbers. It exists only for positive integers only. Now, factorial x can be written as x into factorial x minus 1. Factorial x can be written as x into factorial of x minus 1. This is a recursive formula. Recursive formula means a formula that can be used repeatedly. So this factorial x can be written as x into factorial of x minus 1. X into factorial of x minus 1. Now treat this x minus 1 inside the factorial sign as x, as if it were to be x. Then it can be written as x factorial x minus 1 can be written as x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 1 minus 1, which gives me x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2. I am treating x minus 1 as if it were to be x. So if I do so, I can have factorial of x minus 1 becomes x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 1 minus 1, or x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2. This procedure can be applied repeatedly time and again until I get 1, factorial 1 equal to 1 on the right hand side. So factorial x can be written as x factorial of x minus 1. Do not forget to keep x as it is. Next, apply the same recursive formula on factorial x minus 1. So it becomes x into x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2. Now I can continue this formula, I can prolong this formula. So factorial of x minus 2 can be written as x minus 2 into factorial of x minus 2 minus 1, or x minus 2 into factorial of x minus 3. Factorial of x minus 3 can be written as x minus 3 into factorial of x minus 3 minus 1. That is x minus 3 into factorial of x minus 4, so on and so forth. Until where I can continue this formula to be applied. I can continue this formula until I get factorial 1 is equal to 1 on the right hand side. Typical examples I have considered. Factorial 3. This can be written now x is equal to 3. So apply this formula recursively. So factorial 3 can be written as 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1, or 3 into factorial 2. Factorial 2, now apply the formula again. Now x is equal to 2. But don't forget to keep 3 because I shall be multiplying at the end. So this becomes 3 into 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1, or 3 into 2 into factorial 1. So I should stop when I reach factorial 1, because factorial 1 is equal to 1, factorial 0 is equal to 1 by definition. So 3 into 2 into 1, which I get it to be 6. Using calculator also I can verify. Now Coming to a little bit bigger number than 3, so factorial 5. Again, let me apply the same formula, x is equal to 5. So factorial 5 can be written as 5 into factorial 5 minus 1. So x is equal to 5. So factorial x is equal to 5 factorial of 5 minus 1. So 5 into factorial 4. I get 4. Now within the bracket, I am applying this recursive formula again. I am applying this formula recursively. So 5 into 4 factorial of 4 minus 1. So I get 5 into 4 into factorial 3. Now this 4, I should take it outside the bracket. So 5 into 4 into next factorial 3. So x is equal to 3. Apply the formula again. So 3 into factorial 3 minus 1 or 3 factorial 2 within brackets again. Of course, I am not forgetting to multiply by 5 into 4 also. Next, apply this formula again. So factorial 2, x is equal to 2. So factorial 2 can be written as 2 into factorial 2 minus 1. Now, I have reached factorial 1. So I have to stop here. So, and multiply the previous results along with the corresponding number. So 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. I get 120. 5 into 4, 20, 20 into 3, 60, 60 into 2, 120, 120 into 1, 120. So this is how we apply this formula. Exclusively in binomial and Poisson distribution, I am going to make use of this formula. This factorial formula I am going to use, right? For cancelling some terms, for simplifying some terms, I am going to use this. That's why I have given this notation at the start, at the outset itself. Next, we shall go for the definition of binomial distribution. I hope what I have written is a little bit clear. I shall be repeating. Any doubts, you can please feel free to contact me. A discrete distribution is represented by its probability mass function and its CDF. Right? So PMF means its probability mass function, which is going to characterize a discrete random variable. So binomial distribution is a discrete distribution. Now this is defined by this formula. Px of x is equal to ncx into p to the power of x into q to the power of n minus x. It is defined as Px of x is equal to ncx into p to the power of x into q to the power of n minus x. This is ncx, means this is a combination. Permutations and combinations we would have studied, right? So this is a combination, ncx. There are different notations to represent this combination, ncx. One notation is this, ncx. Another one is within brackets, n below x, within brackets, n below x. This is one symbology. Different authors use different symbologies. I follow usually this symbology, but this symbology is also given in many textbooks. That's why I have given this also. It is equal to ncx, both mean the same, p to the power of x into q to the power of n minus x, where q is equal to 1 minus p. Where q is equal to 1 minus p. Binomial distribution gives me the probability of the occurrence of a success. While doing problems, I shall be telling what do you mean by that, right? There can be any two events that can occur. I have a result, I have an experiment, I am performing the experiment repeatedly, and there can be only two results, success or failure. So probability of the occurrence of the success, I am going to denote by P. Probability of the occurrence of success, I am going to denote by P. The probability of failure is given by Q equal to 1 minus P. Q equal to 1 minus P. Okay. So what is the probability of the occurrence of the success when I am going to conduct an experiment? Conducting an experiment means it can be tossing of a coin, it can be tossing of a die, or it can be the number of calls that are arriving at my mobile, right? Or it can be the number of items that are defective in a factory, right? Or it may correspond to any other practical events, right? What are the defective integrated chips that are being coming as output from a VLSI manufacturing company? So these are all modeled in terms of binomial distribution. So there, the probability of success varies according to the condition, right? For example, getting a head when I am tossing a die, it can correspond to success. Whereas in some cases, the probability of the failure of a chip can also be taken as a success. It depends from problem to problem. You may wonder, right? How can the probability of failure of a chip be taken as success, right? So there are certain situations where we need to model the corresponding thing which we need to compute as success. Though in reality, it's not the one that is required. But based upon the problem domain and the problem description, we need to choose the random variable to be a success depending upon the realistic issue that which we are computing, right? For example, tossing a die and getting face of say 1, 2, or 3. There, tossing a coin and getting head, that I can take it as success. Now, finding the among 10 items, I need to find the probability of a defective item. I need to find the probability of 10 defective items. So that I need to take it as success. I am finding a defective item, so that should be the success, so that I can find the defective item and throw them out and throw it out and minimize the effect of deficiency, so that all other things are successfully obtainable. All other good items are easily obtainable. So it gives me the probability of the success, right? Probability of success is usually taken as P. Probability of failure is Q is equal to 1 minus P. So Q is equal to 1 minus P. I have substituted here. So its definition is Px of x is equal to Ncx P to the power of x into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus x. I should first prove that the binomial distribution is a valid PMF. It's a valid PMF. So for that, there are two conditions it must be satisfied. Px of x should be greater than or equal to 0 for all x. Now, strictly speaking, here, by definition itself, it is equal to Ncx P to the power of x into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus x. So for all x, it would definitely be equal to 0. It would definitely be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, it cannot go less than 0. So it is greater than or equal to 0 for all x. And I should prove that the summation x is equal to summation over all x, Px of x is equal to 1. I should prove that summation of this for all x is equal to 1. Now, binomial distribution holds good only for finite quantities. Finite n quantities. This n I have written, right? Ncx. It's a combination. So binomial distribution holds good only for n finite quantities. It doesn't hold good for infinite quantities. No, it can never be applied for infinite quantities. Okay. So that's why for summation for all x, Px of x should be equal to 1. This is what I am going to prove. First condition is already satisfied. Second condition should be that summation for all x of this PMF should be equal to 1. So here we should be careful in selecting the upper limit. So there are n possible chances. Among the n possible chances, how much success I am going to achieve, that I need to have. So that's why summation x is equal to 0 to n, Px of x I should prove. Summation x is equal to 0 to n, Px of x. Okay. So it is given by summation x is equal to 0 to n. Just a minute. Summation x is equal to 0 to n Px of x. So substitute the value of Px of x. Px of x is given by Ncx P to the power of x into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus x. So this would be summation x is equal to 0 to n Ncx P to the power of x into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus x. The upper limit is n, not infinity. I have made that correction here. So please keep that in mind. I shall be sending this PDF on WhatsApp to you. So it is equal to summation x is equal to 0 to n Ncx P to the power of x into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus x. Now expand this summation. So if I am expanding the summation, I get Nc0 P to the power of 0 into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus 0 plus Nc1. Now I am putting x is equal to 1. Nc1 P to the power of 1 into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus 1 plus Nc2 into P to the power of 2. Now I am putting n is x is equal to 2. P to the power of 2 into 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus 2. This is x, right? So I am putting x is equal to 2. So 1 minus P whole to the power of n minus 2 plus etc. up till I am continuing. Now put x is equal to n. So I get Ncn. This n is already existing. This n is already existing. En ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ. So this n is already existing. Now this n is what the summation n I am putting here. This n is already existing here. Now I am putting x is equal to n here. So NCN p to the power of n 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus n. Now please note n minus n in the power in the last term gets cancelled. N minus n is 0. So 1 minus p whole to the power of 0 is 1. Now p to the power of 0 is 1. So I am left with nc 0 1 minus p whole to the power of n plus nc 1 p to the power of 1 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus 1 plus nc 2 p squared into 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus 2 plus etc. up till ncn p to the power of n. So that's what I have written. 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus 1 gets cancelled. Yeah, because n and n gets cancelled. So I am left with 1 minus p whole to the power of 0, which is equal to 1. So this is what I am left with. Now I have to evaluate these combinations. So what is NC0? NC0. Please note NCR is given by factorial n by factorial r into factorial of n minus r, if you remember. Factorial of NCR is given by, NCR is given by NCR. The combination formula is given by factorial n by factorial r into factorial of n minus r. So apply the same criteria here. N is n, r is equal to 0. So NC0 is equal to factorial n by factorial n minus 0 into factorial 0. So factorial 0 is 1, n minus 0 is n. So factorial n gets cancelled. I am left with 1. So NC0 is equal to 1. Next, NC1. Apply the same formula. Factorial n by factorial 1 into factorial of n minus 1. Okay. Now apply the formula that I discussed in the previous class. Okay. So factorial x can be written as, just a minute. Factorial x can be written as x into factorial x minus 1. So that's what I am doing here. Just a minute. I want to evaluate. I have factorial, I have NC1 is equal to factorial n by factorial 1 into factorial n minus 1. Factorial 1 is 1. Now, factorial n can be written as n into factorial of n minus 1. I am using this formula. Factorial x is equal to x into factorial x minus 1. So, adana yav formula, yav samayochitavagi decide ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So, this can be written as n into factorial of n minus 1 by factorial of n minus 1. So factorial n minus 1 gets cancelled and I am left with n. So NC1 is equal to n. Next. NC2 is simply given by factorial n by factorial n minus 2 into factorial 2. So that now factorial 2 is given by 2. N factorial n can be written as n into factorial of n minus 1. Now apply the same formula repeatedly. So I get n into n minus 1 into n into n minus 1 into factorial of n minus 2 divided by factorial of n minus 2 into 2. N factorial of n, I am trying to bring factorial of n into the form of factorial of n minus 2. So factorial n can be written as n into n minus 1 into factorial of n minus 2. So factorial of n minus 2, n factorial of n minus 2 gets cancelled and I am left with n into n minus 1 divided by 2. Next, NCN I have. So NCN is simply given by 1. Apply the formula, I get factorial n by factorial of n minus n into factorial of n. So factorial 0 is 1, factorial n gets cancelled, so I am left with 1. So substitute the result here. So substitute. So substitute, I get summation x is equal to 0 to n px of x is equal to 1 minus p whole to the power of n plus np whole to the power of np into 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus 2 plus n into n minus 1 by 2 into p squared into 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus 2 I get. Add in the power 2. So plus n into n minus 1 by 2 into p squared into 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus 2. So that's what n minus 2 I have added here, plus etc. up till plus pn. Now, this is nothing. Please don't forget to add 2 here. The 2 was missing because while I took the photo, the 2 was missing. So add the 2 here. Now, from the binomial theorem, this is simply equal to 1 minus p plus p whole to the power of n. You may ask why. The binomial theorem formula states like this. A plus b whole to the power of n is simply given by a to the power of n plus nc1 a to the power of n minus 1 into b plus nc2 a to the power of n minus 2 into b squared plus ncn minus 1 a b to the power of n minus 1 plus b to the power of n. Let me repeat again. The binomial theorem states that a plus b whole to the power of n is equal to a to the power of n plus nc1 a to the power of n minus 1 into b plus nc2 a to the power of n minus 2 b squared plus nc n minus 1 a b to the power of n minus 1 plus b to the power of n. Okay, this is the binomial theorem. Now I am applying this criteria here. So here a is equal to 1 minus p, b is equal to p. A is equal to 1 minus p, b is equal to p. So a plus b whole to the power of n. So a is equal to 1 minus p, b is equal to p. So I get 1 minus p plus p whole to the power of n. Minus p plus p gets cancelled. I am left with 1 to the power of n, which is equal to 1. So I have proved that summation x is equal to 0 to n, px of x is equal to 1 to the power of n equal to 1. Okay. Please do make appropriate changes while watching the PDF, and also while watching the PDF, please don't forget to listen to the video that I would be posting it, right? In order to understand the PDF, mathematical steps in the PDF, listening to the video with apt attention is very much essential, which you also know. So we have proved the two conditions, that px of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all x, and summation x is equal to 0 to n, px of x is equal to 1. So what does this mean? It means that the binomial distribution is a valid or a legitimate PMF. If anybody asks you the question that prove that the binomial distribution is a valid or a legitimate PMF, you have to prove this. First, you have to write down the definition of the binomial distribution. Then you have to show that px of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all x, and you have to prove that summation x is equal to 0 to n, px of x is equal to 1. So that would be the answer. So this would be the ending point for proving that the binomial distribution is a valid PMF or a legitimate PMF. Next, we shall use the formula for we shall go for computing the mean and variance of the binomial distribution. So I have got px of x is equal to ncx p to the power of x into 1 minus p whole to the power of n minus x. This is another way of writing the binomial distribution. You write it as px of x only, one notation, no? Okay. So as I told, it is the binomial distribution is nothing but the measure of the probability of having x successes in a series of n